Hello there, BC Squatchers here. I wanted to relate what happened after Doug and I had gone on our latest expedition, Squatching with Doug. We'd actually, on the way to going squatching out here in the woods, we had stopped at Tim Hortons and picked up a couple coffees. He had a large double milk and I had just a smaller black. But we were so excited on the way out here talking that we actually didn't consume the coffees. They were hot and it was a short enough ride that we hadn't consumed those. So when we got back to the truck, it was actually where we were using Doug's Jeep. The coffees were still there, and so hey, that's great. We drank some of it and we were looking around for what to do. You know, let's do something here. We got out of the woods a little bit earlier than we anticipated. We were actually hoping to go for a 4-hour hike and it was more like a 2-hour hike. So I suggested let's go up the road here and take a look around. And Doug was keen on that, so we set off. Going up the road, Doug hadn't had too much time to drink his coffee as the road soon got very rough and we were ascending quite high. So he was anticipating drinking some more of it when we got to a viewpoint further along up here. We had the two coffees in this console between us. Mine being the black and his with the double milk. After admiring the view for a while, Doug thought he'd have a little bit more of his coffee. Now he had his Jeep there. I'm just using my Pathfinder here, but he went to look in the console and found there was only my coffee there. His was gone, and he didn't know where it had gone. Was I playing a trick on him or where it was? So Doug and I are just headed down the road. It's very narrow, it's very rough. He hadn't mentioned anything about the coffee cup being missing. I hadn't noticed it was missing. When we come along here, I say, what's that in the middle of the road there? This is Doug's coffee. Doug's coffee cup. Let me take a look at that. It's very rough, and it's sitting here in the middle of the road, and it's still got his coffee in it. Wow! How do you explain that? So I said, Doug, you must have thrown it out the window somehow. He says, well, no, we were going up here like 20 kilometers an hour. I didn't have time to grab it and throw it out the window. Besides, I don't litter. I was looking forward to drinking that coffee, he says. Well, how do you explain that? We don't know. We don't know how to explain that. His coffee cup inside was removed from a moving vehicle, taken out and placed in the middle of the road, so we would find it on the way down. The coffee's still in it. Explain that to us, folks. Doug and I thought it was pretty weird. So when I looked at, try to figure out what happened about how the coffee cup got in the middle of the road, I noticed that in this excellent book by Thom Powell, Edges of Science, he relates a couple stories that have a similar context. On page 59, the headlights caught on a brick-sized foreign object in the middle of the single-lane track as we were following up the road, up the mountain. So again, it wasn't on one side of the track or the other side of the track, it was right in the middle, and this foreign object was something that he thought the Sasquatch had mainly put there for them to find intentionally. On page 62, he makes again they come across something. He says, again, we lurched to a stop. Another foreign object lay before us in the center of the narrow 2-lane Jeep trail. So again, it was not one side or the other, it was in the middle. And on page 63, he speculates, could we be staring at something that was done for our benefit by the Bigfoot creatures themselves?